We're week 3, and we've already reached must-win territory for Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears because this is absolutely a must-win. Playing at home, standalone game, 3 o'clock. It's going to be on Fox against Matt Eberflus's defense, Dak Prescott's offense, and this Dallas Cowboys team. You know, there are going to be a lot of eyes on any Cowboys game, but especially on this one when you consider both teams really have a chance to win. At this point, it's a pick 'em. Spread is at -1 for the Bears, which, you know, with how the Bears have looked these past 2 weeks, I don't know how you could favor them against almost anybody in the league. But this Cowboys defense has been so bad that if there is a get-right opportunity for Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams in this offense, this would be it. And you better against Eberflus. That's my quick take on it. But, Christian, I want to hear more of what you had to say. Your reaction to just the abomination of a game in Detroit that, you know, you were so bullish on the Bears being able to win that game.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to the Bears' demoralizing loss in Detroit, and what do you think their chances are here against the Cowboys?
Yeah, I do know I owe you guys that pepper, so I'll get that and eat that eventually.
Oh, you did? That was your ghost pepper game. I forgot that was Christian's ghost pepper game last week. Oh, man, I should have remembered that because I would have made you eat it on this pod. But all right.
Honestly, I remembered like right before we started recording, and I was like, no way he actually went and picked up a pepper. So I just didn't mention it.
No, it's that's going to be
I got some wasabi. I mean,
that doesn't count. It's not the
just going to punish yourself. Just going to punish himself with the wasabi.
You know what? Just put it. You have to put it. You can if you put a ghost pepper bet back on. I wouldn't say that it takes this one off, but
that's too ghost.
You can just put it. You can just put it. You can just put it.
No,
in the
I
bank.
need a ghost pepper. I'll get one.
Just put it in the bank because you might have to have 2 at some point during the year.
All right. Well,
then,
absolutely, Christian. I'm your. This is because I'm your friend. No more ghost pepper picks on the Bears. Okay, that's from me to you. That's our rule on this podcast.
Do they play Miami at some point?
Well, I'm going to double down and go with the bet. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I do think the Bears will win this game. I really do. I think as bad as the defense looked, and they look bad, it doesn't look like they're going to get any better at all this year. I'm going to have to basically rebuild this entire defense. Completely okay with it. The good thing is Caleb looked better than he did in week 1. And Rome Odunze looked like a real number 1 wide receiver. Again, best case scenario this year was 9 wins. Realistic expectations were 7 wins. Certainly still attainable, that win total.
Most people had. Sorry to cut you off. Most people had the Bears losing these first 2 weeks. If we're being honest, too. You know, it's doom and gloom, and everyone's trashing the Bears, and they deserve it for how bad they got beat. But I would say conventional wisdom among NFL fans was that, you know, the Bears were gonna lose these first 2 weeks. But go ahead, Christian.
And I will say that I really appreciated what Ben Johnson said today. He said we do not have a winning attitude in this locker room. I completely agree. I think part of that is a personnel question. I think there.
He also said our practice habits are not championship caliber.
That's what he said. Yep, that's what he said.
I thought that was concerning, and I think it was probably targeted at some of these vets, some of these higher paid vets, Montez Sweat, DJ Moore, maybe, or two of the guys Johnson, that when you look at the tape,
I'm seeing a lot of Jimmy Johnson in this rebuild. To be honest with you,
but so they better get that figured out.
I'm happy. The only thing. Sucks that we lost Jalen Johnson for looks like the year. The Cowboys defense looks terrible, but Dak Prescott, George Pickens, CD Lamb, they look great. I'm definitely taking the over in this game. I'm taking the over. 50.5. That's a lot of points. They're going to score. I think they're going to be able to score a lot. But give me the Bears at home.
For the Bears, you know exactly what you're going to be getting from this defense. We have been painfully put through it these past few years. Matt Eberflus is not going to blitz. He's going to stay in his Tampa 2, his cloud coverage schemes. You know what you're going to get. You're going to be forced to, death by 1,000 cuts down the field. It's supposed to be a bend, don't break defense. This defense is broken a lot this year. Okay, so they're not really adhering to that bend, don't break principle. Specifically, I think the tight ends could really have a day in this game, and I think it's time for a Colston Loveland breakout. It's time to really implement him in this offense. You took him in the top 10 for a reason, and so far he's basically done nothing in this offense, right? So this has got to be the game where Caleb and Colston connect, and I agree, Christian. I think that no matter who wins, I think this will definitely be a shootout, and a large part of that is going to be the fact that Tyree Stevenson is going to be your number one corner, and Tyree Stevenson has looked like one of the worst corners in football this year, and he's going to be defending CeeDee Lamb probably for almost the entire game because your other backups are Nashawn Wright and Nick McLeod, and if you don't know who either of those guys are and you're not a Bears meatball diehard fan, I completely forgive you because they're basically just two guys, really, and that's where we're at with the depth of this Bears secondary at this point. So it should be a very high scoring game. Dak has looked incredible thus far this season, putting up a ton of points. I really like what that offense looks like. And it makes you question, if they hadn't moved Micah Parsons, if you still had him, they could really be making moves in the NFC East right now. I mean, especially with the Commanders looking like they're regressing a little bit and the Giants just being awful. If they were able to keep Micah Parsons, there's some arguments can be made about the potential of this Cowboys team, but they don't have him. And thank God they don't, because as a Bears fan, I do think this will be the game for Caleb, this offense. Christian, as you said, Rome Odunze, I want to see a consistent output of productive play throughout the entire game because we haven't seen that yet this season. It's been 2 weeks where the opening drive, the scripted plays, it's looked great. It looked like Caleb's figured everything out. And then as the game goes on, you don't get a run game going. Caleb has to play out a structure. He's not taking sacks, but he's having to run around. He's having to play off rhythm. And that's not what we signed up for with the Ben Johnson offense. We were expecting that we were going to get this, cutting edge, brand new, great offense. And it's looked like a lot of the same from last year, unfortunately, in terms of how Caleb's reacted outside of those opening drives. And, it's crazy because I'm the biggest Caleb Williams guy going into this season and what I thought, but man, I was really expecting a lot more. And this is not an indictment on Caleb, right? Because it's not his fault that we expect so much. But based on our expectations of him, I was expecting, this really to be a top quarterback in the NFL as soon as this year. And a lot of that had to do with bringing in Ben Johnson and what I thought he was going to be able to unlock with Caleb. And we just haven't seen it yet. So I would love to see that in this game. I really like the over, no matter how high it goes, because the Bears just got a 50-burger hung on them this past week, and Russell Wilson threw for 500 some odd yards against Dallas last week. So, the potential is there for these to be two of the worst defenses in the NFL. They've certainly shown it so far through this year. So, yeah, the total should be high, and I'll probably go with the over on this. Now, when you ask me who's going to win the game, I'll take the Bears. I'll take the Bears because I've seen it. I can't imagine them losing to Matt Eberflus in this game. I think that, this has been the defense that Caleb has practiced against all of last year. He's familiar with Eberflus. Eberflus isn't going to be bringing some exotic blitz. Eberflus is like the anti-Flores, right? Flores, you're getting all these different looks. You're getting kind of exotic blitzes. You're getting none of that from Eberflus. You're going to be getting cover 3, cloud coverage, things open, you run the ball. They have to be able to run the ball. And that's going to be another huge test in this game because if DeAndre Swift can't get a run game going, then it's been that way through 2 weeks. This offense just can't move the ball. So provided they get a run game going, and implement their tight ends more into the offense, I'm going to go with the Bears in this game begrudgingly, but the over I feel a lot better about. Turtle and Mike as outsiders, what are your guys' thoughts so far in this game?
Yeah, why the hell not? I mean, I think this is going to be the first time that Caleb Williams is going to feel real comfort in the pocket. And in terms of like being able to let Ben Johnson plays develop downfield, I mean, I think you're not going to see a lot of resistance on the back end of this Cowboys defense. No one's seen it. Russell Wilson didn't see it. No, I think you're going to see a really good game out of Caleb. I like the Bears +1 to win this one outright. And give Ben Johnson his first career win. This is right in the money pit of where you guys can see it all play out, and I think it will, because Caleb has looked good when he has time. He has looked good when he has time. When there's pressure, it's a whole different ball game. That's not something I think you're going to be dealing with too much on this, against this Dallas Cowboys defense. And then in terms of letting plays develop, it might be there. He may be able to let the athleticism fly. And we've seen it. So give me the Bears. Yeah.
Turtle, before you go, I just got to take – Mike, I agree with you that the Cowboys' defensive front hasn't been able to pressure quarterbacks. You don't need to reinvent the wheel going up against Braxton Jones. He cannot – from what I've seen through these first 2 weeks and his whole career, this guy cannot handle a bull rush. It's as simple as that. You put your helmet in this guy's chest, and you could just drive him straight back into the quarterback. It's every passing down. So there are ways they can get around that, but even with a porous defensive front, I think an average or below average even defensive end, if they have a half decent bull rush, you can definitely put pressure on Caleb from that left side. But Turtle, go ahead.
Just take a bite out of that onion, Pat. Like
it is what it is. I was hoping for a lot more from Braxton Jones, but it's been concerning.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty concerned about that. I think before I was saying you guys should think about drafting a tackle in the first round last year. Maybe possibly. I know you didn't fall to you guys, but like an Armand Membu or one of those guys that ended up going.
Kelvin Banks. I would have liked any of those guys.
I'm not Ryan Poles, even though I feel like I should be. But in any case, look, the similarities I think between our teams and your teams right now, specifically speaking, the Texans and the Bears they're kind of spooky similar, at least on the offensive side of the ball. I do agree with the fact that this is more of a step down in class than what you faced for the first 2 weeks. Again, you're facing Ben Johnson's former team, who knows the offense, and that Lions defense with Aiden Hutchinson back. Again, I think it's got more teeth than it did at the end of last year. Well, I know I'm talking about the last games.
Oh, Mike. Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut over there. The camera's on me. And then the Brian Flores game. That's always tough. But in any case, I don't know. I like the Bears as well. I think it's gonna be weird. They're all gonna be on the Bears, but I think this is a nice comeback for them.
Yeah, me. I said Kelvin Banks. I said that was my pick for a long time.
He didn't fall, though. I mean, at this point, I hate to say it.
But who was my nuts guy? Ursary, man.
Well, not at 10.
In the second. And looking back, there's no way we should have traded for Trapillo and Shamar Stewart. There's no way we shouldn't have Ursary on this roster right now. No chance.
Or Shamar Turner. Either Stewart or Turner.
Yeah, we shouldn't have. I'm sorry, Shamar Turner and Trapillo for Ursary. I'm taking Ursary all day.
And I mean, I hate to be nitpicking and be doom and gloom and depressing, but Tyler Warren
looks pretty good.
Tyler Warren looks so good.
Yeah, Tyler Warren looks so good.
That could be
and you haven't used Colston Loveland at all.
Do you guys have any concerns with? I mean, man, DeAndre Swift looks bad, man. Like, I mean, he's running into where pressure is going to, and then turning around, and then it turns into nothing. I mean, there's
been the story for 2 years.
Maybe it's because he's on my dynasty team and I played him. Like, his stats haven't been terrible. Like, he showed some runs where I'm like, all right, that's a pretty decent run. But yeah, I guess the
actual football. I mean,
you guys are watching every game. Yeah,
1 or 2 runs a game where he'll be able to break off a 15 to 20 yard run, and it'll look real good and it'll help on his stats. But he cannot be your bell cow back to consistently move the ball down the field or set up play action. He's not the guy that's going to get you that consistent.
Not anymore. He used
to be. Give me DJ Moore full-time running back. Get Burden out there.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, I've been saying that the Dameon Pierce texted you guys today or yesterday. I can't remember what day it was, but Dameon Pierce was a healthy scratch on Monday.
Take him.
What do you want for him?
Honestly, if he's a healthy scratch,
yeah,
I mean,
I was going to say it better be a
no, I'm not asking for anything more than a day 3 pick here. I think that's what he would go for. All right, he's a healthy scratch. If you want to sauce a 7th or a 6th, I don't think that's a worst play for the Bears. To be honest, he fits Ben Johnson's scheme better. He kind of is like a smaller.
6 for a healthy scratch running back. He could be a
healthy running back. He's ran for 1,000 yards in the league. I mean, how many backs can say that?
Great
I don't
value
like Duvernay either.
Monty.
Duvernay as a kick returner is bad. I would like Pierce as a kick returner as well.
Yeah, he's taken 2 back in his career
full time.
You have 2 returners.
Yeah, right.
Duvernay.
I want to
Duvernay should not be on this roster.
Yeah. No, I mean, and we haven't really seen any situation where he's been able to get touches on offense either. So it's not like he's contributing there. So if they need to get Luther Burden involved, they need to get Colson Loveland involved. And, DJ Moore, if you play him at running back, if that's going to keep him engaged, if that's going to keep him, I don't know how it's going to help with him not finishing his routes and, pouting when he's
don't run him.
Read, but
don't run him.
That's
get back behind. Just play running back.
Put him in the backfield. I can get down with that because if you look at the tape, I have some serious concerns about DJ Moore's effort. And I didn't want to believe it last year. I wanted to attribute it to just the chaos going on around him. But I have serious concerns about his attitude that I thought that getting a guy like Antoine Randall as his position coach was going to iron out. And we haven't seen it. It's just he's a different kind of cat. And, that's all power to him. But he's not the type of guy that I would want leading my wide receiver room. And he doesn't seem like he really fits with especially Caleb. Because Caleb, it's like, and I think Rome has been able to pick up on this more. You got to be able to adapt when he goes into improvise. Like when he goes into improv mode and he's, running around the pocket and the play breaks down, you have to be able to come back to the ball and, find the open space. DJ Moore will just give up on the route. If he's not the first read, he won't be engaged. So it's concerning, and I think it could get him off the team as soon as this year. I think there's a serious dead cap problem if you get rid of him before June 1st. So a lot of people talking about trading him. It's gotten that bad. Talking about getting what you can for DJ Moore and possibly trading him to like a team like the Chiefs or somebody who's looking for a wide receiver at this point. But I think there are, and someone could fact check me on this, but I think there are dead cap problems if you trade him before the end of this season. So yeah, they're going to have to figure it out.
As long as Poles is the GM, I don't think he would do that sunken cost. He doesn't strike me as that type of GM.
That's true. He just gave the guy one of the longest contract lengthwise contracts for any wide receiver in the league. So, it'd have to be admitting a mistake, which
I don't think Poles has that in his bag. At least my GM, I know he'll do that. He'll admit a mistake and he'll trade Kenyon Green for pennies and trade John Mechie for nothing. He'll admit a mistake at least.
Yeah. No, I wish. Bears fans wish. But yeah.
I don't know.
Any thoughts on the Cowboys here as well? I mean, you can finish up your Bears thought, but yeah.
I was just gonna say, I mean, for the Cowboys, I think they've overexceeded expectations so far to be quite, at least offensively, to be quite honest. Like just as a team too. I mean, defense didn't look great, but I think people kind of had them down in the dumps before the year, and they look at least like a serviceable football team. A team that could win 9 games if I think the ball bounces right in a couple spots.
Dak stays healthy.
But Dak stays healthy, yeah. I was going to ask about Ryan Poles, like what are the odds he sticks around after this year?
Just got extended 2 months ago. He got extended through 2029.
I'd fire.
I know.
I mean, he's fine. He's not going anywhere.
I
would fire him.
I
want him fired, but
I honestly, I think Dak makes his secondary kind of look really bad in this game. I think this might be his best game of the season. Kind of solidify himself, put the Cowboys on a roll. So,
CD over receiving yards, hammer it, whatever it is. I would hammer the hell.
It was 83.5, I think, when I saw it today.
Take it, bump it up.
He's had over 100 yards in like 4 straight games, so I mean that does seem a little.
And one thing I'm very worried about for you guys is the onslaught of just how good Javonte Williams has looked this year.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point. I forgot.
He's looked good. Fantasy owner good. Mike Rogers is.
No, I'm not a fantasy owner. I've got my ass kicked against him in 2 leagues in 2 weeks. But no, he's looked fantastic. He's running the ball hard. He's breaking off big yards, and he's a goal line guy. I mean, he's doing exactly what the Broncos drafted him to do, and then he got injured and tore his ACL. He looks all that and more, and I'm worried about that for that Bears front, about being able to stop him. Not that there's a good offensive line that's pushing against him, pushing against the Bears defensive line, but just in terms of breaking it to the outside, and I think it takes a couple chunk plays, and this thing could get out of hand for you guys.
No, I mean
he's got more juice this year than I expected.
It's been Williams. Since the Vic Fangio days that the Bears just haven't been able to stop the run. So it's been a problem for a while now. It's a systemic problem for the Bears. So yeah, I would also expect. That's a good point, Mike. I would expect Javonte Williams to have a great day, too. The Bears defense.
We are second. We're second in explosive plays so far this year.
Explosive plays against?
No, offensively.
The Bears are second in explosive plays?
16, yeah.
How much of that came in garbage time?
Yeah. Seriously. I mean, I guess, yeah. What explosive plays are how many yards or more?
20 yards?
20.
What?
Okay,
I would have to see all of them because it doesn't feel.
So there's a handful. There's a handful of Caleb Williams toss-ups. You're like, oh, that's a terrible play, and then So I mean, there's some of those in there, but
and DeAndre Swift, like I said, he'll break off like one run in a game where he'll
so after all that doom and gloom with the Bears too, I guess we're all on the Bears. Are we all sticking with that pick?
I'd rip the band.
Please don't make me look stupid, Bears. Please don't make me look stupid.
We already all put it out. I like the Bears as far as a market buy, at least. Like I think that there's some value on them.
At home, calls. And a lot of what Dak does when he can is manipulate the defense with a hard cadence, variance in his cadence. So,
and this might be the very defensive line that gets you about 15, 20 yards this game. That off just
possibly, but it and the Bears better hope that the crowd is loud. I think they will be because it's just the nature of the game. I mean, the Cowboys game, it's going to be a standalone game at Soldier Field. It's still early enough in the season where I don't think it's going to be like taken over by Cowboys fans or anything, but it better be loud because otherwise Dak is going to be able to use that to his advantage. So that's just one last.
If the Bears have to get off to a good start, and at least like their first couple games, they've gone on the field and scored a touchdown, I think, on both their opening drives. They hadn't done that in like a couple years. They hadn't scored a touchdown on their opening drive. I think they've scored twice on both their starting drives.
Well, and Pat mentioned,
they got to get out to a good start. They got to get out to a good start. They got to get out to a good start.
And then when you got to break out, do your own kind of play calling, things do kind of break down.